All right, y'all, we made it. We made it. And I'll probably sleep here tonight, and then, yeah, and then tomorrow morning I'll go back. We are walking down. It's a mix of new houses and ruins of old houses, and some Qing Dynasty houses. So I don't know about that one. That one looks a little fixed up, but there were some Qing Dynasty houses. I think that's the Qing Dynasty house behind the gate. This is a classic Hui style architecture, obviously a little bit old. One thing about, so Hui style architecture, so the Hui, back in the Qing Dynasty, people from this area, Huizhou, it used to be called, were very, very rich. They were merchants, they're very successful merchants. So they made a bunch of money. But then there were laws that forbade you from getting a house that was too grand. And so that's why Anhui, Huizhou, traditional houses have this kind of white, boxy, very boring, bland look. But, so they limited a lot of things, but there were places you could show off your wealth. There were places you could be a little extravagant. So you see a fancy window pane. Usually you'll get something around the doors that's a little bit fancy. There were places. They have a mill, a working mill. You know, we gotta go see what that is, actually. I wonder what gets crushed here. You好。看看。看看可以吗？看炒茶叶。啊。是不是你今晚到那边住宿的？是的。哦，就在我家。啊，就在你家。现炒的。啊。So we have the amount of tea, the amount of time in circles, I think, 65 times, 64 times, counting the amount of time in circles, the pressure, how much pressure it is, the temperature, 198, and then the amount of tea, 125, I don't really know what that, maybe grams.
这个茶好，均匀，每颗都差不多大。
So if I remember this right, this is Long Jing 43 cultivar. I think this is the local cultivar. And then this is the Mao Feng cultivar, or the red flag number 1. I think he said. Remember, Mao Feng is not a cultivar. And he said, Long Jing 43, see if I can find an example, has, where'd you go? Long Jing 43, he said it had a little bit of redness at the bottom. Oh, he had a really nice example. So here we have the local variety, and here we have the Long Jing 43. One thing about the local variety that I just noticed, that I personally noticed, I don't know how true it is, that the Long Jing 43 looks a little bit cleaner. You know, very clear, one leaf, one bud. This one is a little bit smaller and the pickings are a little bit rougher. And this probably has to do with the fact that when they create varietals and they create, you know, Long Jing 43, one of the things they're looking for is easy picking, you know. And this is also having to do with trimming the trees and such, but easy picking is a part of a ideal cultivar. And so these just seem, these are smaller. They kind of remind me of like little veggie tea. And they're a little bit smaller, they're a little bit uneven, but you know, these are just a little bit bigger, a little bit cleaner. Though this also is just started picking, and the Long Jing 43 has been picking for like a week. This starts picking a little bit later. So this is the local varietal tea, and this is Long Jing 43. We have the local variety, which is a lot of chestnut notes, a lot of good stuff in there. And we have the Long Jing 43, which is just kind of, smells nice, but it just has that chestnut note I really like. Really good. So I just picked up 4 pounds from this guy. So that means I picked up 7 pounds in total, which is more than I thought it was gonna pick up, you know. But it's gonna be good. I'm gonna do a side by side. So the first, 你好，现在说英语。哪个国家的？